What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 1.5 of the Made Man podcast. I'm your host, Easy the Shinobi. And with me is one of my co-hosts, Greet Spectre. Spectre, how you doing, man?
Yo, what's up? Pretty good.
All right, all
Just
right.
chilling.
Basically both of us coming at you recorded from our different locations in the Bay Area, keeping safe. It's hot outside. Uh, Summertime heat hitting. But but that gives us plenty of time to watch stuff, play video games, and just kill a good amount of the day.
Yeah, no complaints there.
No complaints there, but there is one thing. So we've been checking out the show for like the past 3 weeks. This is brand new anime series,
Oh, God. I already know
and
what
we
you're talking about.
and we had to hop on to talk about this shit. Rent a Girlfriend, basically up to episode 3. I didn't want to. Well, we didn't want to wait till the season got done. It was just, dude, this fucking show.
God damn, man. The show, dude.
Oh man, I can't even explain. It's one of those things where it's kind of a trashy show, but it's so good. It's so fucking entertaining because the fucking main cast of characters is just I can't even explain.
I don't even know where to start with this show, honestly.
Episode 1.
You know what? Let's start with all the good things, and then we'll get we'll get into the problems, or the one problem.
The one problem. So basically at the start of it, like the good part is undoubtedly Mizuhara being like as a summer lead MVP for Best Girl.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, other than the fact that other than the fact that she's cute as fuck, she's basically hustling to become an actress and has a like Clark Kent type of deal going where a braids and a ponytail, nobody could recognize her, but once that's off, oh man, she's a gorgeous college student and basically Kazuya's quote unquote girlfriend. And Kazuya's grandma, fucking hilarious as hell, man.
Best girl, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, Best Girl. Who, the grandma or Mizuhara?
Oh, you're talking about Mizuhara. I was talking about the grandma.
Oh man, the fucking in the first episode though, where she's telling, hey, oh yeah, have you guys done it yet? Don't be ashamed to do it. Do it as many times as you need to create a friend. It's like, yo,
Hey,
that's fucking.
she was straight with the questions.
She was, yeah, she was. It's just, what? Damn. All right, that was. What the fuck?
She ain't afraid to beat around the bush. It's like, hey, you guys done it yet? No. Well, what are you waiting for? You had my permission.
that and the fact that the fact that she snuck out of the hospital. I think was it the third episode or the second episode too, because she wanted to see Mizuhara and Kazuya and all that.
Second episode.
Second episode, yeah.
Because it was like, oh, why don't you come over like for dinner or something like that? And then it was like, oh no, we can't because apparently she's not willing to.
Yeah.
But then the grandma surprises them. It's like, oh well, it's too late because I'm already here. It's like, what?
It's just like, damn, that old lady was fucking quick as hell, but. She wants to see her. Oh, I don't want to say grandson happy, but because she caps on him a lot, along with his parents. But you know what? It's a bit all in good faith, in a way, weird way, I guess. But yeah,
oh, most definitely.
Yeah, and then fucking Kazuya's friends. Those guys are fucking true as bros.
They are the stereotypical teenagers.
It's a stereotypical teenagers, college age students and shit. Where it's like,
how many times have you wanked it? It's like, yeah, that's pretty much probably one of the first questions that gets asked. how many times have you wanked it? And I like how he's, he's proud of it. He says it loud and proud. He's like, I've done it 3 times today. And you realize that he barely got up in the morning.
Yeah, but it's like, God damn, motherfucker, like 3 times. I mean, if you're gonna be proud of it, fucking might as well be proud of it, I guess, right?
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, I mean, shit, you got nothing else to do, so and even your boys are just like, hey, yeah, I've done it 3 times too. It's like they're keeping stats. It's like in sports. It's like sports, like say basketball, where you're trying to average points per game. It's like, oh, I get like 20 points per game or something, or like I get like 35 points per game. This is almost the same equivalent, except in jerking off.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know why people are like, oh, that's disgusting. You shouldn't do that. It's like, yeah, that's why we do it in private. But another reason is supposedly study shows that apparently it keeps your urethra clean.
That and isn't it kind of like it keeps your prostate healthy as well?
Yeah, not to mention, and I'm not gonna go deep into the biology,
Yeah,
but there are two tubes, one for pissing and one for ejaculation.
yeah,
And apparently, if those two tubes aren't quote unquote cleaned out regularly,
yeah.
it could lead to some problems in the futures where you won't be able to have kids.
Oh shit, did not know that. Oh, I mean, I
And this
think
is
that
and this is me simplifying things.
no, yeah, because basically, we're not probably not a good idea to get into basically the more detailed specifics, but yeah, no, yeah, it's basically one of those things where you kind of learn in biology class, and it's kind of like they kind of like explain it. It's like, this is why, this is how basically your body works and stuff.
Yeah, especially when
Uh,
you know about the human anatomy.
but these vatos. I mean, they're just trying to keep healthy,
That's
and
true.
their own weird, little bit shameful but weird ways. They're just trying to keep healthy,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and that basically leads us to, I don't know, how should we go about her?
I'll start out by reading one of the comments, the one in bold italics.
Go ahead.
Fuck Mami chan.
100% on God. Fuck Mommy Chan. The general consensus throughout the anime community is she belongs to the streets.
Yep. And not only that, but everyone who watches it, even all the Twitter warriors, Lamau,
Mm.
they all agree that she deserves to be buried in a ditch. And
Oh
then
yeah.
there are the other ones that are like, oh, she has a nice body. Oh, I want her to make America great again. It's like, dude,
What the fuck?
it's like the door is over there. Get out. You know what? Don't even use my door. Use the window. You don't deserve to use my door.
Yeah, just fucking, I don't know, go live somewhere with the trash and shit. Cause what I can't, like, there's it's one of those rare times where an anime character gets you so fucking heated that you're just like, oh, you. It's like mine from Shield Hero, or even earlier ever Bakugo from My Hero Academia, when he was just like this abusive fucking dick.
Dude,
Um,
at least mine was direct about her intentions on the first episode.
yeah, I'll give her
This
that.
chick, this chick
Ugh.
waits until episode 2, maybe episode 3 to show her true colors and like, nah. These two,
Nah,
I'm not with this guy anymore, but I'm going to hook up with this guy only to break his relationship. And I'm like, are
you
you kidding me? I know these type of girls exist, but are you kidding me?
it's fucking frustrating as hell, because it's like in episode 2 when they go out to the restaurant and all that, damn well she did. Damn well she kind of like invited herself and shit.
Oh hell yeah! She
Yeah,
overheard her friends like, "Oh, we're gonna go on like double dates with like these guys," and then she's like, "Oh, really? I'm coming too." Not even like, "Oh, can I come?" No,
yeah.
I'm coming too, and it's like, yikes! And then the
Uh,
friends unintentionally was like, "Hey, bro, we know you don't. We've seen you with that hot chick around. How about you come on like a double date with us, so that it'd be like a three-way date."
yeah,
So that we're not lonely and we can actually be homies and talk like us and all that stuff.
yeah, exactly.
Only for them to arrive, and who's there? The
Fucking
bitch.
fucking mommy chan, bro. She's so like in the first episode when she breaks up with when she breaks up with Kazuya and she's like, oh, sorry, I fell in love with somebody else. I mean, granted, that happens. That happens in real life, and it's like, oh, okay, you know what? That's like a reasonable thing. Where it's like, all right, if you're falling in love with somebody else, just call it what it is. It was a little suspect that she was too cheery about it, but it's like, okay, whatever. But
No, but
then,
how the hell is she going to be that blunt about it?
oh
Like
yeah,
most of the times when people actually fall in love with other people, they let them down easy. They're like, "Oh, I don't think this relationship is working,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
feel like we should see other people."
yeah,
No, this chick doesn't beat around the bush. This
yeah.
chick is like, "Hey, I fell in love with someone else. Bye." It's like,
Yeah,
bro,
that's
that's
that.
not cool.
That's just kind of cold, but and then to outright just fucking say in the second episode, yeah, you know what? Instead of saying, oh yeah, you know what? I broke up with him because I was interested in somebody else and all that. She just straight up asked this dude, fucking, oh yeah, because I broke up with him because he was too horny and all that. It's like what the fuck?
Ain't nothing wrong with a little energy in life. I mean, shit.
Yeah,
But
like
still,
yeah, basically kind of adding him and just kind of like trying to humiliate him. And then Kazuya going full senpai. He's like, no, 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 she's right. When after Mizuhara stood up for him, but she didn't need to. She's like, that's what kind of sealed the vote. It's like, all right, she's the best girl in the Mizuhara is the best girl in this anime, but Mami-chan is like the fucking trash of this shit, bro.
dude, she is straight garbage. She is going for mine's uh bitch crown.
Oh yeah,
And
no,
so far, she's getting there.
yeah, she's fucking getting there. She's basically just in basketball terms, she's a Giannis to fucking mine's LeBron James bitch crown. Episode 3, you see how much faker she gets because on Twitter, she has her whole like little Twitter locked up and all that. And it's like, oh yeah, just saying, oh, I can't believe he bought his new girlfriend here, and this is why virgins are unbearable, and it's just like shit of talking trash badly.
And then she blames it on the alcohol, like, "Oh, sorry, I was a little drunk and I may have said some things." Bitch,
No, you didn't.
I saw what you were drinking. I may be a person who doesn't drink, but I learn about the world, and what you were drinking,
That's like
no, that drink ain't enough to get you drunk.
no, no, no. It's not enough to basically to get you faded out and kind of reveal your true feeling. No, no, no. That was her 100%. And the thing is, she's not trying to break them up because I'm still in love with Kazuya and all that. I don't know. It's because she doesn't want to see this dude happy for some reason. It's like, well, you broke up with him after a month, and like it was cold, but it was like, okay, you know what? Let's just see other people. All right, fine, cool. That happens. It's a little cold that you kind of went a bit cheery about it, but fuck it. That's how life goes sometimes. But
Yeah,
from
but this chick, nah,
oh
she straight lets it out the bat. Not only
yeah,
that, but like, dude, it's like you guys broke up. Get over it, man. Don't
yeah,
don't don't cling on to like, oh, maybe there's a chance of like me hooking up with her. She's not worth it.
she's not worth it, dude.
I've
Even your
I've seen her type. She's not worth it. Trust me.
she's not worth it, dude. She's just trying to fucking she's just trying to fucking use you, dog. Just even your fucking friends are telling you, look, go apologize to Mizuhara. Mommy Chan is not worth it. Just fucking don't do this right now. Yeah, because she really isn't worth it. Because there's evil intentions behind that shit. And even at the end of episode 3, when she pulls him behind the rock and is like, tries to make out with him and all that, or I think kisses
No,
him. But
she actually succeeds in making out with him, and that got
yeah,
me heated. I was like, bro, how can you be this stupid?
don't be that fucking stupid. All right, so in episode 3, there's that, and when the fact that she bought up the imaginary children.
It's like
Ugh.
once a chick brings up the past, that's when you know something's up. But
No, yeah,
this guy, nah, nah. He has that syndrome that most anime MCs have,
yeah.
where they're so dense they can't see the hints.
No, yeah, and even if it's like blatantly slapping him in the face, because granted, he does have low self esteem. I'll give him that. I'll give him a little bit of slack because he has low self esteem because it's like his folks are capping on him, the grandma's capping on him. It's like,
That's when you know. That's when you know things are going bad for him. When his own family is like, "Oh, did you get a girlfriend?" It's like, no. It's like, typical. I knew you wouldn't. It's like,
it's
damn.
damn, you don't have to do that. Like at least be at least don't say it to him. It's like
It's like, give this guy a break. But god damn, not even his family supports him anymore. They're like
uh,
used to this by now.
it's just like, yeah, well, it's like when he brought over Mizuhara to the hospital. It's like, oh yeah, this is my girlfriend. Wait, are you serious? Well, our Kazuya has never been romantic and all that, so this is kind of a shock. It's like, well, how's that a shock? Just say, oh, you know what? I'm happy for you. I'm happy that that you found somebody or some shit. But that's beside the point. On top of that, you got fucking trash ass mommy chan fucking just doing this shit, whatever the hell this thing is. But just the third episode. If you haven't seen the third episode, that shit will get you hella fucking heated, and it got a lot of people hella fucking heated at her.
Honestly, this bitch just wants sympathy, and that's all she wants.
No,
It's like, dude, like, okay, their first year, they're like first year in college and all this stuff,
yeah,
but the fact that she brings up all of this BS from the past, and the fact that she doesn't want to see him happy with anyone else, is just the fact that she wants all the attention, she wants all the
yeah,
sympathy.
yeah.
She like, yeah, she's like one of those annoying chihuahuas that you find on the other side of the fence, that
Oh yeah.
that bark constantly just to get attention. And once you step over on the same side of the fence, they shut up.
They just be quiet and they just shut up. And that's the thing with Mami-chan, because if you notice, basically in the episode or in the parts where someone actually steps up to her, she puts up the act. Well, I don't understand why you're being mean to me and all that. And even when Kazuya was like, hey, sort of defending Mizuhara, it's like, well, I mean, you did kind of go overboard a bit. It's like, I can't believe you're taking your side and you're being mean to me. And I was like, you just trashed this dude like 20 minutes ago. Why the fuck? Oh god, dude, as I said, it's just you get hella. Everybody got hella fucking mad at her, and for good reason. Because back to the fucking streets with you, just fuck. But
Honestly, like,
there is a
Jesus.
silver lining. There is a silver lining to this though. The comments section on this episode did blow up a good amount.
Dude, the third episode has only been out
Mm-hmm.
since yesterday, and
Mm-hmm.
I just updated the page, and it has now over 2,000 comments.
Damn.
It has 2,000
Do
comments,
you
and
want?
like a few minutes ago, I said that it
Uh,
was like at 1,100 comments, and it now has 2,000 comments.
Damn.
everyone is talking about this one episode.
Because this is like one of those fucking pivoting episodes and shit. Do you want to pick out a few of the? Do you want to pick out a few of the or the gold nugget comments from the list?
Yeah. Yeah, here's one.
Hmm.
For a second there, I thought that Mami-chan accidentally stepped on a string force in the beach, a stringy substance in the beach scene that caused them to slip, quote unquote, and make out with her. But no, I realized that it was either A, she knew it was there and slipped on purpose just to get a chance to make out with him,
Yeah.
or B, it was a complete accident. My thing is that it was A and she knew it was there.
I don't know because it seemed a little too convenient that that rock was placed there, and basically because usually usually when the basically when they have like those huge boulders at the like near the ocean for the beach and stuff, there's got to be like loose rocks around. So something tells me she knew.
Yeah, and this comment continues where it's like, I'm pretty sure Mami chan would be one of those girls that wears a shirt that says, Your son calls me mommy too, in
Yeah,
front in front of either your current girlfriend or even your family, which is one of the things
yeah.
that makes me angry, that I can't even stand her, because her because her bitch ass is the typical females of California.
I,
Ouch. Ouch.
damn.
I
And
can
the,
already tell the person who wrote this comment is from California.
yeah, basically, it's just and the fans. Not all females from California are like that. There's it's just like some.
It's hard to find honest girls. I'm telling you this. It's hard.
Yeah, yeah, probably, but never know really. Next comment.
Even though I know every time what's gonna happen, still that beta pussy MC makes me want to punch him in the face. He is right next to, if not better than Kirito on the worst MC list. You anime only watchers can't tell yet, and most likely you won't tell because the show might not even show it, but on the manga, trust me, he is one of the worst and dense characters. It makes you sick on how nonsensical all this becomes in the end,
Yeah,
but you can only hope that he gets a happy ending.
yeah, because I mean, the dude has been beaten down a lot at kind of mommy's out to make his life fucking miserable. So yeah, that and he also kind of bought it on himself with his simp ass. But
Yeah, I mean, at least he's better than Kirito.
damn.
At least he's better than Kirito.
How is it that going a bit on Sword Art Online? How is it that basically what like some people are when the high point that people are talking about is Sword Art Online isn't Kirito is either not there or when he's like a vegetable. So I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, the dude was handicapped for like the majority of season 3.
Yeah.
No, not the majority of season 3. I would say like probably like 4 episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Back to Rent a Girlfriend.
back to Rent a Girlfriend. I'm
Yeah,
done.
'cause-
I'm done with the ranting.
yeah, we're done with one part of the ranting and back to the original part of the ranting, which is why is Mommy Chan such trash? And that's yeah.
Here's one.
Mhm.
Uh, as much as I am triggered with the X and the dumbass MC, I gotta remember that Chizuru is indeed a rental GF, and that both him and her absolutely have no feelings for each other.
Yeah.
Sure, she may help him out at times by saving his ass. And one of the things that is clear is that she is sick of his lies. Every time every time someone brings up a question like, where are you from? Or how did you meet? He is just digging a grave for her that is so deep she won't be able to get out. No pun intended.
Nah, because at that point, it's like how hard is it to just be like, you know what? Yep, she's a rental girlfriend. We're not actually in a relationship. She's just been helping me out. Like, yeah, get over my breakup. That's it. Just wipe the slate clean. Whatever. If you're gonna get embarrassed, you're gonna get embarrassed for like a couple days. That's it. Nothing else to it.
Yeah, and it continues.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that in real life, a guy would actually use a fake GF to get back with their ex if they still harbored some of the feelings. And not only is that somehow sick to me that they would even consider renting a girlfriend to get back with their ex, but I like how the show is actually sticking to real life things, and that to me is interesting. But the MC can only grow as a character if he doesn't learn from his mistakes, and so on. And, of course, the waifus are the main reasons that I'm watching this series. But one thing is clear, I hate Mami chan.
And another one in the vote for fuck Mommy Chan because no one likes Mommy Chan.
Yep.
Yeah, but no, yeah, I mean, then that's a good part about this show is because the MC is like he's not because from the looks of this might end up kind of being haremish, but he's not the stereotypical harem MC where it's like, he's kind of bland and perfect guy and all that. No, he's flawed. This dude has flaws to him. Like in low self esteem, can't just seem to be like honest with people and just
And he's a stereotypical liar.
oh yeah, stereotypical liar just keeps digging himself into worse and worse situations when all it is just like, all right, just eat crow, say face. Oh yeah, just eat crow, be embarrassed, get it over with. Boom, that's it. That's all you got to deal with. If your parents like, oh, I can't believe you did this, and they get mad at you, fuck it, whatever. That's on them. If your grandma gets disappointed, then you're gonna have to live with that. It's whatever. But yeah, that it's but yeah, that's what makes but that's at least what makes it so interesting is that he's flawed. Mizuhara is flawed in her own a bit because she's still going along with it when she also could have just been like, no, 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 we're not going out. But she doesn't want to risk getting found out that she's part of a winter girlfriend agency because if her grandma finds out, then it's she doesn't want to embarrass.
She gets a heart attack and then she dies and then
Yeah,
he'll feel really bad and yikes.
yeah, it's just this whole thing, but that's the enjoyable part of the show is like flawed characters that you know yeah, they have their own issues, but in the end you kind of want to see, okay, do they end up getting better, do they end up fixing whatever it is kind of like bugging at them. So yeah, got another comment.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through, and this guy made wow. I'm not even going to go into some of these, but here's one.
Mhm.
Kazuya also never knew about Mami-chan's other personality, and how can you blame him when he only sees the good side of Mami-chan? Only, although the drinking scene from the last episode might show her in a kind of bad way, but he still believes that she is good. Question mark.
No, yeah, because that's a two faced thing. Mami Chan she's more two faced than Harvey Dent at this point.
Oh,
Uh,
most definitely.
yeah,
But at least
basically.
with Harvey Dent, you can actually see the Two Face. With her, she's good at hiding the other one.
Oh yeah, she's definitely good at hiding the other one.
Not even
And
her
ba-
friends know about this other personality. And in the show, you see her as like a third person watching this show. You see glimpse of like her real personality, and her friends are just like, "What? What was that?" and then she instantly switches back to her nice personality and it's like, oh, sorry, what I meant is like blah 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 and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, bro, not even her friends, her best friends, know about her second personality.
They don't know basically about that kind of like that snake personality. That kind of
Oh,
like
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, they don't know. There'll be like I'm waiting on basically if the manga adapts it or if the manga gets to that point or the anime adapts it beforehand or basically it's like she gets caught up in her own kind of like lies and it's there's like finally fucking justice to be served. So, but that's why we got to keep watching.
And to finish off this paragraph that I was reading,
Uh-huh.
maybe we as a third person or the watchers
Mhm.
can see what Mami-chan is, but he can't. So don't fully blame him for still thinking that Mami-chan is a good girl, because if we were in his shoes and most and the majority of the times girls, and I can say this for a fact because I am a girl, we are good at manipulating men and hiding our true intentions. As naturally as it comes to us, we are stereotypical liars that not even a lie detector could tell we are lying. Only true good girls, if they lie, they instantly get caught because they're terrible liars.
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree with this. I agree with
No,
this paragraph.
no, yeah, in a way, I kind of agree with it too, and not just kind of like, not just girls, but kind of like almost any person all around could be like, if you're good enough at lying to it, then you could be just good enough at just kind of like being a stereotypical liar and just telling, and just I don't know, fooling your friends, fooling your significant other, fooling whoever that this is who I actually am. Uh, and in the case of Mami-chan and Kazuyo, it's like she knows his self-esteem is like beat to all hell, and this dude doesn't think highly of himself or he doesn't even think averagely of himself. He's just he even admits it at the start of the third episode. It's like, I don't know what's wrong with me nowadays. um and basically she knows it, takes advantage, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put up this act in front of him to be nice, but when it's time, I've basically when he's not looking, I'm just gonna basically try to do whatever I can to sabotage whatever happiness he tries to do or tries to have.
Yeah, like, damn, man. Honestly.
Yeah, yeah, but this is what we've been saving up for fucking 3 weeks. We've been chatting back and forth on Discord this whole time about it. Basically, kind of the consensus that Mommy Chan is trash. She's garbage. She belongs to the streets. Um, yeah. On a side note, now that we've ended this all out, you did mention to me one thing, transitioning on from Rent a Girlfriend to another summer anime that's got a second season. You did mention to me a couple of weeks ago about like this theory that you have on the ReZero timelines.
Mm, yeah. One of the things that I was kind of curious
Mm-hmm.
as to, and this is getting into like the topic of like time travel and alternate dimensions and whatnot.
Yeah.
But if like in the show Re Zero, he apparently has this curse where if he says how he is able to go back in time or all that stuff, he is hit with his pain that stops him, or time freezes around him, and he's able to actually go back in time. Think of it as like you're playing a game and and right before you're like in this big open room, and you're like, "Damn, this is a boss room. I better save and then go in. And if I mess up, I know that I'll go back to that save point, and I can be like, okay, I need to think. He did this. This happened. I can just change up my tactics and do this."
Right.
But I'm just and something got me thinking. Like, What if he's not really going back in time? He's going to an alternate dimension that he's just starting over from there. But you know how he has to kill himself or somehow he dies, quote unquote.
Right, right.
What and supposedly like people from supposedly that timeline don't remember him, or like, oh, like the corpse just mysteriously disappear, as like some animes put it as.
Yeah.
What if that corpse stays and all the characters remember his death?
Yeah, so basically, so in a way, it's kind of like, all right, that corpse, it remains there, and the characters that are in that specific timeline where he dies, they remember him, but his, like, I guess in a way, his soul or his spirit gets transferred into another timeline where
Into
it's like
another
everything's brand new.
version, yeah, into like another version of himself, where it's
Hmm.
just adding new memories of like, oh, this happened and then this happened. I can just change it up by doing this and this.
No, yeah, and basically that would, that would make sense in a way because it's like if you're heading into another timeline, into a new timeline, but heading into like the same scenario where it's like, say for example, Subaru's heading into like a battle that he knows he died in the previous timeline, but he changes his tactics and it's like, okay, I'm finally able to kill the boss or the enemy that's in this timeline. That would, I guess, in a way, that would make sense.
Yeah, it would make sense. And now here's my point of view.
Mhm.
What if the creators of ReZero did like a mini series where where it's like, oh, like let's take for example the suicide cliff scene
Mhm.
of, I think it was like episode 7 of the first season, where he knows how to solve all the problems because apparently the leader of the witches cult has like this like phase 2. So he's like, I know how to solve all this, I know what to do. And then he runs, jumps off the cliff, and commits suicide.
Hmm.
What if they did a mini series where they show the aftermath? Like they don't like, we know what happens on the next episode, but what if they showed the character's reaction and the continuation of that episode? Like, what was he talking about? Why did he just jump off the cliff and commit suicide? And pretty much just the characters dealing with with the current moment of of the situation, where the one guy that was supposed to be our savior just killed himself, and now we're stuck with this situation where 9 out of 10 they're probably going to die.
Right, right,
Or another scene where it's like, say like a sappy scene where, like, I don't know, their mansion is getting raided and then one of them dies. Like Subaru dies and the characters find his corpse.
right.
Yeah, sure, Subaru just went back in time and just dealt with the whole situation. But what happens to those characters that he leaves behind? How do they deal with his death?
Right. So kind of, so basically, kind of like uh, following up on the different times he died and restarted again, and just seeing the aftermath of like, okay, what happens after these events, and how did like these different characters, how do they come to grips with it, or how do they deal with like the problems at hand?
Yeah, like instead of going into the new timeline with Subaru, what happens to the timelines that he leaves behind? What happens to those characters that saw him get killed? Or, like, oh, like this is going to crap, and we can't do anything about it because this character killed himself and he was the one that was supposed to save us.
Right, right. That's actually kind of a good idea to basically build upon, especially like like say ReZero would were to stop were to stop with the show, but you want to follow up with stuff. It'd make for like a good for like a good what's it called, spinoff,
Yeah.
um because I mean there's a chance that some of these will have like multiple bad ends, where it's like, oh, this is the end of the world, or this is the end of the that timeline and all that. It's almost in a way kind of like in Dragon Ball Super, where with Future Trunks after he beats Cell, and they kind of ask him, "Oh, what about Majin Buu? What about this? What about that?" And he kind of just reveals, "Oh, yeah, I was able to stop, Babidi and Dabura before they freed Majin Buu." Almost in this exact same scenario, but with like different timelines based on Subaru's multiple deaths.
Yeah, and I know the whole concept of like time travel and all that stuff is like really confusing because it has to do with like wormholes and like alternate dimensions. But the reality of it, um and I'm gonna be taking a few clips from Marvel.
Hmm.
The reality is that the majority, when you see time travel in like Back to the Future or in most of the stuffs where they go back in time, they do something, and then they go back to their timeline and they're like, oh, this problem is fixed. Thank goodness I went back in time. No, that's not the reality. The reality is that you messed up that timeline, and when you went back to your quotes, your timeline, it's still the same. Nothing changes. Because, one, you went back to an alternate dimension that so happens to be identical to yours, and you just messed it up.
Yeah,
Because the people there have to deal with the consequences of what you did.
yeah,
So, going back to the ReZero thing, you know, Subaru was categorized as the savior of that world because he's able to fix the problems by going back in time. That's not the reality. What if they showed the aftermath of his death, where it's like, oh, they're going to take on the white whale and Subaru has a plan. He kills himself. Okay, hey, where's Subaru? They find him in his room dead, and they're like, dude, what the hell? He was supposed to fix our problems. What are we going to do now?
no, yeah, and and that's interesting because you don't know basically because how can I put this? Because I would using kind of like old Marvel logic, or especially for the MCU when they kind of an end game where they kind of like, oh, you can't necessarily go back in time, but it's just split alternate timelines that are created with every action that you take. With Subaru, it's like, all right, every time he dies, there's a chance that he's not restarting again. He's just creating new, unintentionally creating new and new and new timelines where it's like he doesn't have to deal with the consequence or the aftermath of the one that he just left when he died.
Yeah. And taking a few pages from Inspector,
Hmm.
a really good detective anime, where Subaru is not necessarily going back in time, but he is just picking futures where he knows that he can grab onto and succeed.
Right,
So,
right.
what happens to those futures where he didn't succeed? What happens to those people and those consequences?
Yeah, do are they able to find a new hero? Is like all like lost, and that timeline is just burnt all to hell, all that. Does somebody else, does somebody else gain like a new power and is able to kind of restore order? Um, was there kind of like a backup plan that Subaru had in case he didn't win? It's honestly like with isekais like this and Konosuba and all that. That's not like, now that you brought it up, it's got me thinking. It's like, is there like will they ever kind of like do something where they kind of reassess the different like alternate dimensions where, okay, this happened, yada yada yada. What happens now?
Yeah, it's like at least with Konosuba, it's like, oh, he has a goddess, and the goddess is just resurrecting him. So there's
Yeah.
no like going back in time. But with ReZero, there's some kind of curse that whenever there's like this major event that's going to happen the day before or like prior to those events, a mysterious save point is put on there where if he dies during that big event, it just sends him back to that save point. You know,
Right, right, right.
like what if it's not really going back to that save point? It's just going back to an alternate dimension before the save point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I mentioned before, that would be a great spin-off series, and uh, there's a chance, we might see abilities from I don't know that much about ReZero, but there's a chance in those kind of like alternate dimensions that we see characters that have these abilities that, after that are triggered by, seeing Subaru die or seeing like the world kind of getting crushed, where they just kind of like wake up and they start, going to work.
Yeah. And the majority is that these characters don't even know that Subaru is killing himself to fix the problems. He's usually
Mm,
either dying, quote unquote, by someone else's hand, or he's killing himself in secret so that, oh, this event didn't go as how I wanted. So I'm just going to go to this closet and kill myself so then I'll come back. And it's
mm.
like, oh, yeah, all these problems are now fixed because I knew what was going to happen. It's like, yeah, but I don't really think you're really going back in time?
Yeah, because it seems a little too simple just to say, oh, you know what, nothing's going to plan. I'm gonna basically end it. I'm gonna either die in battle or I'm gonna kill myself, just to basically revert back time and try again and fix the problem. It seems a little bit too easy. That there's got to be a catch to it.
Oh, no, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man. Speaking of which, speaking of basically saving, autosaving, dude, have you played of Tsushima yet?
No, but it's on my list to buy.
Dude, definitely worth the money. I've been playing it I've been playing it since yesterday. I've gone to uh, a little bit of spoilers. I've gone to the point where you have to save this blacksmith. It's
Oh
this
no, that was in the trailer, so that's
oh,
not really a spoiler.
that was in the trailer.
Yeah, there was I think it was like someone released gameplay.
Hmm.
I think it was like one of the developers. They released like how most of them do like, oh, this is like we're gonna show you the first 15 minutes of like the game and all that stuff.
Right,
And
right,
one
right.
of the missions was saving the blacksmith,
Oh, okay.
which was I think like one of the first missions.
Yeah, I think I want to say it's the fourth mission. But I honestly didn't know this was part of the trailer. Either way, dude, it's really good. Like the camera, like operating the camera to basically, and the meanwhile you're in combat, it's a little like that's sort of my gripe with it so far. But overall, I I basically just fallen in love with this game. Uh, the animation is awesome. The combat system, where basically it's like, you can either call out like the Mongols or kind of assassinate them in secret. Um, it's really smooth. The photo editor thing, or the photo editor feature, I'm in love with it because, to be honest, that's like half the reason I bought the game. Also, because
Mm.
the way they kind of have like the settings for like depth of field, to put an aperture, and just to have it like detailed, it's yeah, it's really awesome. It's really awesome to see. Score is good. I'm currently playing it on the Japanese kind of like on the Japanese dub with voice act, or not with voice acting, but with subtitles.
Yeah.
Um, it's good, man. It's good. It's honestly really good.
I saw from a tweet of one of the people that I follow on Twitter. Miracle of Sound. This guy does he does music of video games or just in general of just things he wants to do. And apparently you can pet foxes that you find in the game.
Right.
And I was like, you can pet foxes? Does this mean that you can have a pet fox? And I was reading more into it, and apparently you can have pet foxes. And that to me interests me because this is probably the only game where you don't have to hunt the foxes. You can actually keep them as pets. And that to me is pretty cool.
No, yeah, because I think the foxes also work to kind of like help signal you to like the different side missions around, like basically where the smokestacks are at, or kind of like helping you find the kind of like when there's like legendary armor or weapons to be found, and that's awesome.
I think it's adorable that you can pet the foxes.
Yeah, it's adorable, man. You have your own little pet fox. It's cute. It's adorable. I mean,
And
I mean,
I really hope that you can that in this game you can have a pet fox, because that to me would be just honestly cool. Because
yeah.
no other game does that, and this would be the first of its kind.
Oh yeah, because so far I would say it's either Fallout or Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain, where you can have like not pet foxes, but kind of like dogs or wolves and all.
Yeah,
But
and like everyone does that. It's like, oh, you can have a dog as your companion, and he helps you fight and all that stuff. You can have a horse or like a cat or whatever, but
yeah,
what about foxes?
yeah,
In
yeah. I mean,
most of the
fox.
games, you just hunt foxes for their pelt and add it to your own gear to upgrade you. But what about having them as pets? That'd
Yeah, I
be
mean,
kind of cool. Having a little
yeah.
fox just run around behind you, helping you out during the missions, like making noise to distract the enemy so that you can sneak through this one area undetected. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, foxes could be, helpful as companions too. I mean, you could pet them and basically, they're great. From what I know, they're great trackers and all that. So, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
and in real life, foxes are uh, bloodline cousins to wolves. So they do
yeah,
have that hunting instincts, but they're not as brave. So they prefer to hunt smaller creatures like squirrels or like mice or something like that. They munch on like berries and whatnot. They're
yeah,
usually used by wolves as scavengers. Most of the majority is like as a food source, but if wolves do decide to like use foxes, most of them are just used as scavengers for like, oh, there's like this animal over here, and then they'll squeak or something like that.
no, yeah, they're good. They're good scavengers. They're good for tracking stuff, and
Yeah,
and for finding whatever it is that you need to find. And if that's the case in Ghost of Tsushima, then it's dope.
that's gonna be dope.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, honestly, if you haven't tried the game out yet, it's worth the money. Other than my gripe with the camera system, we kind of moving around too much, and it's like, oh, okay, you can't really lock onto a target. Honestly a really good game, and it's honestly worth the $60. All right, so I think it's about time to wrap it up. Basically, episode 1.5. A little. We did have episode 2 recorded. There are some technical errors that I won't really get into, but it was a mess. So we'll probably get Toby back on here sometime soon. Um,
Hopefully,
Hopefully.
we'll get a better mic for him.
Yeah, yeah. uh, Hopefully a better mic. But in the meanwhile, basically creating new shows. We still got the Lads podcast coming up with one of our good friends. Um, who I don't know. Did he ever settle on a nickname? Because I know we got nicknames for us, but I don't know. Should we just
Let's just call him Sarge.
let's just call him Sarge for right now, and then he could figure it out later. Um, and basically, and also made men stories where we basically just talk about our different travels throughout the group, and um, we basically we put in a good chunk of miles for like people in their mid 20s, but that's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something for a different day. Obviously, follow us on our Instagram at. Let me pull it up here while I'm on Instagram. Yeah, I can never really remember the name of this. Made Men underscore podcast 7. Basically, the first episode of Made Men Overtime came up. We talk about the NFL season, the NBA bubble, all that good stuff. Uh, Also coming up, um, let's see. Oh, follow Shinobi Visions on Instagram. Shinobi underscore Visions. Basically posting up photography. Also gonna post up some screenshots that I took of Ghost of Tsushima because it's a fucking beautiful game. You got anything to promote, man?
Yeah, not really.
Not really. No Twitter no more.
The Twitter's still there.
Okay, I got you. I got you. If you could find Green Spectre, find him on Twitter. If not, he's gonna remain a ghost. Uh,
As the name Spectre implies.
yeah, because that's technically a ghost. That's technically another name for a ghost, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Uh,
And so
uh,
far, I've remained a ghost on YouTube as well.
yeah. So I mean, if we end up getting a good amount of subscribers, he'll maybe reveal his real name. Maybe not. I don't know.
I doubt it.
I highly doubt it too. But it's a small mystery. Never know. Um,
I knew Sarge since high school, and until our senior year, he didn't even know what my real name was. He knew
right.
he knew my nickname, and when one of the teachers is like, "Oh, you here?" He was like, "Hang on, that's your real name?" Yes, sir. You never knew because I never mentioned it or brought it up.
Yeah, honestly, dude, in a way, you kind of are like a ghost because I've known you since high school, since my sophomore year of high school, and you just showed up like out of nowhere. It's like we went to go hang out one time, and it's just like, oh, hey, yeah, I'm here.
I just manifested out of nowhere.
You fucking manifested out of nowhere, and I literally had no idea how. But I don't know. Yeah, it's a mystery. It's a mystery. But fucking was it like 11 years, like 9, 11 years later? Here we are.
Yeah.
All right, and that's gonna wrap it up. Episode 1.5. Stay tuned for what we got left later on down the road. Um, Signing out from the Bay Area. Easy the Shinobi, Green Spectre. All of y'all have a great weekend. Stay safe. Stay cool out there. It's blazing hot. It's summertime, and yeah. See y'all next time.
Yeah.